So a couple days ago, I made a video criticizing the Nintendo Switch 2. Most of my criticism focused on the sheer greed of Nintendo. Now I did commit a couple mistakes and I will own up to that and correct myself. The Nintendo Switch 2 will not cost $500 like I stated, but it will cost $450 instead. Some people said that I was also wrong in the pricing of the games, that they were not gonna cost $90, but according to every single source that I can find, yeah, they are gonna cost up to 90 bucks. Am I missing something here? Some Nintendo Switch 2 games are gonna cost up to 90 bucks, which is an outrageous price to pay. So again, I'm gonna go ahead and correct myself. The Switch 2 is gonna cost $450 and the bundle that comes with Mario Kart World is gonna cost $500. Now in the comment section of that video, I was bullied into accepting the bare minimum. Somebody also called me broke, which is such a dumb insult to throw when someone is criticizing an outrageous price. And you know, it's comments like this that have me worried for the gaming industry, especially Nintendo. Look, I understand that video came off as me hating on Nintendo and brushing off the Nintendo Switch 2 as a complete failure, but I feel like fans have every right to call Nintendo out like this. You know, before we continue the video, let's go to read some of these comments. Now, as much as I want to reply to every single comment individually, I feel like that's just gonna be a huge waste of time, but my points still stand. I still stand with the points I made in that video. Besides the mistakes, I stand with everything that I said in that video.
Please do a bit more research. I usually wouldn't comment this, but you have so many things wrong, though I agree with some of your points. $450 for the console, $500 for the bundle, $80 USD for the physical. I think you forgot what you're supposed to be bashing on. You complained that Nintendo did the bare minimum for Mario Kart 8, then you barely say that Mario Kart World is the bare minimum. Wouldn't you be happy that a brand new Mario Kart game is coming out? You're contradicting yourself. Mario Kart 8 was released for a definitive edition, new battle mode, and because Wii U was a failure. Worse battery life because of the demand of the power within the console. Plus, there really isn't a place where you can go where you can't charge your Switch. If you're somewhere like outside, don't play it in the first place, enjoy life. If you aren't going to be playing online, then there's no reason to have voice chat. Just use Discord if you want to talk to your friends. Nintendo Switch Online costs $20 a year. PlayStation Plus costs $80 a year. I think it makes sense. The less it costs, the less it's worth. The download cartridge thing only applies to third-party games, and it will say it on the box if you need to download it. This sounds like a whole lot of yacht that is completely one-sided. This sounds like it was made to hate Nintendo rather than show a non-biased first impression. You keep comparing it to more powerful consoles as if comparing a machine that stays stationary in someone's room and a machine that can be played anywhere is a fair comparison. Then you start comparing it to the Steam Deck, which is going for different objectives, bringing PC games portable while Nintendo is making a portable Nintendo console. Then bringing up GTA and justifying GTA's price point as it will be more realistic. And then saying, what does Mario Kart have to offer? As if Mario Kart isn't the go-to party game in every house. The only real criticism I can see being made for Nintendo is the fact that the tutorial's paid, which I can see being a really scummy thing to do. But everything else is simply inflation and things being done by every other company. At this point, you're just hating just to hate rather than show the positives and negatives of a thing. Mario Kart World is a new game from the ground up, so I'm not sure why you're bringing Mario Kart 8. 1. You got the price wrong. The games have price ranges from $70 to $90 depending on what game it is. Donkey Kong Bonanza is going to be $70 to $80 and Mario Kart will be $80 to $90. The starting price for the console will be $450, that is only $150 more. Inflation is a big part in why you can't sell something that costs $400 to make at the price of $200. The parts got more expensive, therefore if they do not charge more, they will lose money, which they can't do because they don't have another source of money like Sony and Microsoft do. They are purely a gaming company. They made one movie so far and they are putting a lot of money into more movies. Nintendo could pull the same gut punch as before with sacrificing power for some gimmick, which was fun before, but they need to innovate, so they did, and now we are complaining. Go up, buy the console, and enjoy what you get, and not make Nintendo call down Jesus to make the perfect console. For the cherry on top, Sony still sells their console for $500 with a small little platformer instead of a racing open world game that has been hyped for years. And Microsoft is selling theirs at the same price as the Switch, with it still being the same console that has existed for years but with better specs. At least Nintendo has kept with their portable console and made it just as strong. The Switch is barely bigger than my hand one that is really damn impressive.
Do you see just how dangerous these comments are? They're basically telling me to accept the bare minimum and to be grateful that Nintendo barely innovated their console. And sure, comparing the Switch 2, a handheld console, to a PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X is not exactly fair, but remember, the price for the Switch 2 is $450. You can snatch a PlayStation 5 for $400. But let's ignore that. Okay, let's just go ahead and ignore all that. After all, it's not like you could take a PlayStation 5 anywhere. Oh, what's this? The Steam Deck? A more powerful handheld console that has a greater library of games to play? With such power, it must cost twice as much as the Switch 2. Oh, that's right. You could get a Steam Deck for $400. That is $50 cheaper for a better product. But hey, I'm the bad guy for expecting more for more. One of the comments said, if you're not gonna play online, then there's no reason to have voice chat. Just use Discord if you want to talk to your friends. And that's a good idea. I agree. It's a great idea. But if only the controller didn't have a pay to use button that people are gonna accidentally click. What, you want me to tear off the button that's physically attached to my controller? Do you see the problem here? And knowing Nintendo, of course you're not gonna be able to download Discord on the Switch 2. They don't allow us to do that on the first one. What in the world makes you say they're gonna allow it on the second one? Like, it's not like you have much of a choice here. They made a pay to use button. You have to pay a subscription to use a physical button that is attached to your controller. But you want to know who does give you a choice? Nintendo's competition. You could download Discord on the PlayStation, on the PC, on the Xbox, but you can't download it on a Nintendo Switch. Do I not have the right to criticize that? Like, am I not supposed to talk against it? Why should I have to accept these anti-consumer practices that Nintendo pushes? My video, as much as it seemed like it, was not meant to hate on Nintendo. It was meant to highlight just how low the bar is set for them, and these comments proved me absolutely right. It showed me that Nintendo can get away with the bare minimum because people are willing to not just pay for it, but defend it as well. I was seen as the bad guy here, the antagonist, when all I wanted to do was raise the bar for the consumer. I was called broke because I criticized the price of Mario Kart World. Like I said in my video, that's like Honda trying to sell a Honda Civic for the price of a BMW M4. It is just such a ridiculous price, but apparently people will defend this greed and call me poor. The reason I brought up Mario Kart 8 in that video was to highlight just how lazy Nintendo got. 10 years of the exact same Mario Kart game, not counting the lazy cash grab mobile one, is baffling to me. The bar is set so low for Nintendo, people were okay with playing a decade-old game for the price of a new one. Look at this.
Then bringing up GTA and justifying GTA's price point as it will be more realistic, and then saying what does Mario Kart have to offer, as if Mario Kart isn't the go-to party game in every household.
Yep. According to these fans, Mario Kart is just as good as the most anticipated game known to man. Grand Theft Auto 6 is gonna be neck to neck with Mario Kart. Are we serious right now? Is this a joke? And that's not even my favorite comment. Look, this is my favorite comment.
They are purely a gaming company. They made one movie so far and they are putting a lot of money into more movies. Nintendo could have pulled the same gut punch as before with sacrificing power for more gimmick, which was fun before, but they need to innovate, so they did, and now we are complaining. Grow up, buy the console, and enjoy what you get, and not make Nintendo call down Jesus to make a perfect console.
So this person, who's clearly a child, states that little old Nintendo is only a gaming company, and thus I can't compare them to Sony or Microsoft. Nintendo's net worth is $81 billion. Nintendo isn't some little company that is operating in Jim Bob's garage. This is a company that brings in billions of dollars every single year. I, as a consumer, have every right to criticize this company as much as their competition. Grow up, buy the console, and enjoy what you get? This mentality is dangerous for the consumer, because if Nintendo can get away with this and have people defend it as much as this 10-year-old, then maybe we're off to a dystopian future. People have every right to call out my misinformation. That was my mess up. That was my mistake. But to accept the bare minimum and defend it is not only insulting to themselves, but insulting to the entire fan base of Nintendo. I love Nintendo. I love their games, but I will definitely call out scummy practices when I see them. And when I get comments like this, it makes me upset. I don't mind the criticism, I don't even mind the insults, but I will not stand here and watch Nintendo sell its consumers overpriced garbage. How dare I criticize a billion-dollar company for giving us the bare minimum? How dare I not smile when they want to charge $90 for a game and allow other companies to get greedier and charge more money for something that is far more impressive than some little card game? You know what? Maybe the comment's alright. Maybe I should be grateful for getting the bare minimum at such an outrageous price. How dare you not want to spend $90 on a game? What are you, poor? You know, I'm sure every other company envies Nintendo. To have such a low bar must feel really good. Your fanbase claps and cheers for scummy practices, and when someone tries to criticize it, they will defend it more than a stockholder. I will never understand this mentality of allowing a company to get away with such scummy practices. In the world of capitalism, there will always be competition, and if you can't provide a good product, someone else will. That, or maybe you'll have a fanbase that will accept greed with open arms. This is why I kept bringing up Nintendo's competition. We are fortunate enough to have choices. And when hardcore Nintendo fans get mad when I compare the Nintendo Switch to a Steam Deck, it makes me wonder if they know what quality is. Yeah, of course I'm gonna pick a product that is better than what another company has to offer. And you bet I'm gonna criticize a company for having the nerve to charge as much, if not more, than a lesser product. Did you expect a video of me getting all excited for the Switch 2 after seeing how greedy Nintendo is? Friendly reminder that the demo is not free. They're charging for the demo. Something that should be free is gonna cost you money, but I'm the bad guy. Let's forget about Nintendo. Let's forget about the Switch 2. Let's forget about this video. Let's forget about the past video. Would you be happy to pay more for less? And anything, it doesn't matter what it is. A car, a house, a phone, you name it. Would you be happy to pay the same price, maybe more, for a product that is less impressive than its competition? Did you get your answer? Good. Your answer was probably no, right? I know I wouldn't. I'd probably go to their competition. So then why should we settle for the Switch 2? Again, I love Nintendo, I love their games, but why would I get a Switch 2 for such an expensive price when I could get a better product from its competitors? Having reasonable expectations is perfectly acceptable. I didn't hate on the Nintendo Switch 2 because I hated Nintendo. I hated on the Switch 2 because of Nintendo's greed. The audacity to try to charge more for less is insulting. From the console's price of $450, which is still an outrageous price by the way, to the $90 games, Nintendo's pushing the gaming industry to a dystopian nightmare. It's only a matter of time before they want to charge more and more while giving us less and less. And I bet somebody out there is still gonna try and justify laziness and greed on behalf of Nintendo. Don't let companies get away with shady practices. Keep the bar high. Keep your expectations to the roof. Reasonable expectations for a reasonable price. That's the way it should work, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. This is Mouth of Talks. Have a good one.